Every relationship, whether it's romance, friendship, or even business, is secretly a game of psychological warfare. The truth? Love is not enough. Kindness is not enough. And if you think being yourself will make someone obsessed with you, you've already lost. But here's the dark reality. There's a science to addiction. And for years, the elites, the players, and the manipulators have used it to control people, without them even realizing it. Today, I'm exposing exactly how it works, and how you can use it ethically to become irresistible. Or should I say, unforgettable. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was smart, successful, and gorgeous, the kind of woman who should have men lining up for her. But there was one guy, let's call him Mark. And Mark had her wrapped around his finger. She was always the one initiating, texting first, planning dates, remembering his favorite whiskey and surprising him with it. She even canceled girls' trips just in case he was free. And what did she get in return? Breadcrumbs. Excuses. I'm not ready for something serious. Then one day, Sarah called me, crying. She said, I've done everything right. Why doesn't he want me? And that's when I told her the hard truth. You're not the problem. Your strategy is. See, Sarah thought love was about effort. If she gave more, he'd feel more. But here's what most people don't understand. Obsession isn't built on kindness. It's built on addiction. And addiction needs uncertainty, scarcity, emotional spikes. So we flipped the script. Step 1, total silence. No more double texts, no good morning messages. For 2 weeks, Sarah disappeared, not to play games, but to reset the power dynamic. And guess what happened? Mark noticed. He texted her twice. She waited a full day, then replied with 3 words. No explanation, no energy, just poise. Then, phase 2, the hot and cold effect. When they finally met up, Sarah was warm but detached. She laughed at his jokes, then casually mentioned her crazy week, including a work trip with a male colleague. No jealousy, no drama, just unreadable confidence. And Mark? He leaned in closer. His voice dropped. Who's this colleague? 3 weeks later, Sarah got a 3 a.m. call. Mark was drunk and emotional. I've never felt this way about anyone, he said. He deleted his dating apps, started introducing her as his girlfriend. All because she stopped giving him what he expected and started playing the psychological game. Here's the scary truth. People don't fall for effort. They fall for experience. And if you know how to orchestrate that experience, you'll have them addicted. Now let me break down the exact 3-step formula we used. The obsession formula. Let's break down exactly how the obsession formula works, step by step. This isn't guesswork. This is neuroscience. And once you understand it, you'll never chase love the same way again. Step 1, the addiction loop. Dopamine manipulation. Your brain is wired to crave uncertainty more than certainty. Think about it. Why do people get addicted to gambling? Because the chance of winning is more intoxicating than the win itself. Now, apply that to relationships. If you're always available, always texting back immediately, always saying yes, you're predictable. And predictable? Boring. But if you're unpredictable, you become a drug. Take my client, Jake. He used to reply to his girlfriend's texts instantly, like a puppy waiting for a treat. And guess what? She started taking him for granted. So we changed one thing. Sometimes he'd reply in 5 minutes, other times, 5 hours. Once, he accidentally left her on read for a full day after she sent a risky text. And that night, she double texted him for the first time in months. That's the power of intermittent reinforcement. You keep them guessing, and suddenly, they're the ones chasing. Step 2. The scarcity mindset, perceived value. Here's a brutal truth. Nobody values what's always available. Diamonds are expensive because they're rare. Water is cheap because it's everywhere. And if you act like you have nothing better to do than wait for them, you're tap water. But if you act like your time, attention, and energy are limited, you become priceless. I had a client, Mia, who always rearranged her schedule for this guy. Last-minute date, she'd cancel plans. Late-night booty call, she'd run over. And he treated her like an option. So I told her, next time he asks you out at the last minute, say no. Not rudely, just, sorry, I've got plans. No explanation, no rescheduling, just scarcity. The first time she did it, he laughed. Since when do you have plans? The second time, he got quiet. The third time, he asked her out a week in advance, something he'd never done before. Because when you remove your availability, you force them to confront your value. And that's when obsession begins. Step 3. Emotional anchoring, highs and lows. Ever wonder why toxic relationships are so hard to leave? Because they're a roller coaster of extreme highs and lows. And that drama creates attachment even when it's bad for you. But what if you could use that same psychology without the toxicity? What if you could create just enough emotional spikes to make them addicted to the thrill of you? Meet Alex. His girlfriend was losing interest. Things were stable but boring. So we introduced controlled unpredictability. One day, he'd pull her close, whisper something wild in her ear, and own the moment. The next, he'd be distantly charming, warm, but untouchable. Focused on his work, unavailable in a way that made her wonder. Within 2 weeks, she was obsessed, texting him things like, I never know what to expect with you, and I love it. Because emotional spikes, not stability, are what make people feel alive. Now before you go wild with this, listen closely. This formula is powerful. It works on everyone, men, women, bosses, even friends. But with great power comes great responsibility. Use this to enhance attraction, not manipulate. Because if you abuse it, you'll attract toxic people, the kind who thrive on drama. And that's not love. That's addiction. But if you use it right, you'll never have to chase again. Because they'll be the ones addicted to you. Now before you take this and run with it, I need to hit you with a hard truth. What I just taught you, it's dangerous. Not because it doesn't work, but because it works too well. See, the human mind is fragile. Push these psychological levers too hard, and you don't just create attraction, you create addiction. And addiction? That's not love, that's control. I've seen it happen. People who use these tactics recklessly, playing mind games, ghosting for weeks, manipulating emotions, only to wake up one day realizing the person they won wasn't a partner, but a prisoner. And worse, they became the jailer. That's not power, that's corruption. So here's my rule. Use this only to level the playing field, to stop being taken for granted, to turn meh connections into electric ones. But the second you feel tempted to weaponize it, that's the moment you've lost yourself. Besides, the real secret? True obsession doesn't come from manipulation. It comes from unshakable self-worth. From being so undeniably you that walking away isn't an option because no one else compares. So be magnetic, be unforgettable, but never be cruel. The best players don't break people, they elevate them. If you want the full power of this formula, the exact text to send, the psychological traps most people fall into, and how to flip the script overnight, comment obsession below right now. Next, I'm dropping a video with more in-depth on how to become irresistible and be liked by everyone. Smash like right now if you're done chasing and ready to become irresistible. Every like tells the algorithm to push this video to more people who need it. And subscribe, because tomorrow's video, we're exposing the dark triad traits that make people addicted to you. You'll learn the red flags of emotional manipulation and how to use them ethically. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Now go comment. I'll see you in there.